Here is the video for the intervention going with concept 21, which is volume. And so we have 3 problems on this page that you are to solve. Remember, you shouldn't be watching this video until you've attempted the problems. So don't watch this video necessarily as a way to learn how to do this. One way to review how to do it is to go back and review the week 21 test along with the week 22 and the week 23 test, because there were volume problems like these on each of those tests. So let's jump in. Problem number 1, volume of the prism below. Here is the rule on volume. Here's the formula on volume. It is the base area times the length. So whatever the area of the base is times the length, and that works no matter what type of figure you're dealing with. In this case, you have a triangular prism, but if this was a rectangular prism, like a box, would work the same. If this was a cylinder where the ends, the bases are circles, find the area of the circle, multiply by the length. So it's always base area, or area of base, times the length. So let's get the area of the base. In this case, the area of the base, since it's a triangular base, we're looking at this right now, that's the base. Since it's a triangular base, the area is going to be base times height divided by 2. 6 times 5 is 30 divided by 2. 15, in this case 15 square centimeters. That 15 square centimeters is that right there, area of the base. Now, before we continue, let's make sure we avoid a common mistake. Because the shapes are the same as the shapes we use for finding surface area, what some students want to do now is they want to multiply that by 2 to get the other end, and then start finding the areas of each of these. That's surface area. That's the amount that it would take to cover the outside of something. This, the volume, is how much space is inside. So if you had something funky that you were going to ship in a triangular shaped box, that's what we'd be figuring out, is how much could you put inside that box. So the area of the base is 15, so I'm going to write that 15 right here, times the length of this is 10. So the last part of my problem is 15 times 10, 150, and anytime we're doing anytime we're doing volume, it's always in cubic units. And what you can think, if you need a way to remember, why is it a 3? Because we multiplied 3 things together. We multiplied the base times the height. Since it was a triangle, we divided by 2, but we had the base times the height times the length. So our first one is 150 cubic centimeters. All right, problem number 2. So in this problem, I know that I have this 616, that's the total, and that's equal to area of the base and I'm going to call for this problem, I'm going to consider this to be the base. I don't have to use an end. I can use a side if I want to, as long as there's one on both sides and there's another one on the other side just like this. So that's my base. So my 16 is equal to that times the question mark, times the unknown. Well, 7 times 11 is going to be 77. So I know I have 616 is equal to 77 times the unknown thing. I'm going to divide both sides by 77. There's my big one right there. Big one right there. And I'm going to take my calculator and take 616. I'm going to divide it by 77, and I get 8. And so I know that 8 is the missing width right there. That's my answer, 8. All right, down to number 3. Now remember, if you need to pause and redo number 3 after doing numbers 1 and 2, go ahead and do that. Don't feel like you have to rush through this. Better off to take your time and do it well. Number 3, we're back to a problem similar to number 1. We're back to a problem where they give us a triangular prism. So in this case, I'm going to have 13. Let me get a darker color here. I'm going to have 11 times 13. That's base times height. I'm going to divide it by 2. And 11 times 13, 11 times 13 is going to be 143 divided by 2. Now you might say, wait, you can't divide 143 by 2. Well, you can. It's just going to have a decimal in it. So 143 divided by 2 is going to be 71.5. So 71.5 is the area of the base. And remember, to find the volume, you multiply that by the length. And in this case, the length is right here. It's 18. And so we have 71.5 times 18 to give us a total of 1,287 inches cubed, or cubic inches. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the volume of this triangular prism. All right, so review this. This is a week 21 concept, so again, you can find problems like this on test 21, 22, and 23. Go back, review those, and then when you are ready, let me know, and you can take an intervention test.